It's amazing.
Webb. Show.
It's Webby pumpkin.
Webb. Show.
Oh my God.
Webb. Show.
Oh my God, Webby pumpkin!
Webb. Show.
Do you know him?
Webb. Show.
He's cool.
Webb. Show.
You should follow.
Webb. Show.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Webb Show. I'm your host, Webby Pumpkin, and I'm joined by, you already know it, who's the man, the myth, the legend? It's Topaz, you see. Man, I'm super excited for us to jump into today's episode because we have a lot of great things that we're going to talk about. But before I tell you what they are, hey, thank you so much for listening. Did you know that we're a YouTube partner and you can become a member and get an extra episode every single time you watch one of these episodes for absolutely slightly more than free? Yes, you can. You can do that. The lowest tier to get the extra episodes is like $4.99 a month, which means it's the same price as it is on Twitch, but you get way more offering. So I think it's worth it. Guys, overall though, thank you so much for just watching the video. That's the best way that you can support the channel is watching the video, listening to the end. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Anything you'd like to add? Any thank yous? Anything at the beginning?
Thank you guys for everything he just said. I don't want to repeat it, so thank y'all.
Guys, we got some great things to talk about. So since the last time that Topaz and I met together, we've been playing a fair amount of Palworld. I talked a little bit about Palworld in the last episode. The last time we were together, Palworld hadn't released yet, so we kind of had some thoughts and some predictions. That's done now. We're going to just share our experiences. We've already talked a little bit and in like a phone conversation, and I was like, oh my gosh, we got to shut up. This is literally what we're supposed to talk about tomorrow. So we're like gnawing at the bit, ready to talk more about Palworld. Then yesterday, we actually celebrated, or I guess I should say but we all together celebrated 5 years of content creation since I started. Just going to talk a little bit about what that's been like. We're going to get the real meat and potatoes of that in the bonus episode. So if you guys really want the full detail on that, hey, you know what to do. You know what to do. And then lastly, we got the comment section with one very special comment that I think is going to be fun to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that. Guys, we have a great episode planned for you. I'm really looking forward to it. Are you ready? Let's get started with it. All right, T. So kicking things off, ultimately, we have each played a lot of Palworld, but we haven't actually played a lot of Palworld together.
Right.
Palworld is everywhere in the news right now.
Everywhere.
It is literally like, and I'm seeing so many facets of Palworld, whether it's the, oh my gosh, this is just Pokemon, I can't wait to see Nintendo sue, or things like that, all the way to the, oh my gosh, this is better than Pokemon, take notes, Nintendo, which might be a little bit where I'm sitting, just full transparency. But ultimately, I do have one gripe. And my gripe right now is that I decided to play this game on Xbox. And I made that, if you remember from when we had talked about it before, I made that decision because I wanted to play with my friends. Mm-hmm. And what has been the biggest trouble with the Xbox version of the game? Being able to play with friends. So that is the primary reason I would say that you and I have not played a whole lot together.
Right, we played together that one time.
For a few minutes.
And
because it took like 30 or right at 30 minutes, it feels like, before we even were able to get into a game.
Yeah. And
I have a couple gripes. So I guess we're starting with the gripes. I don't know if you have any gripes ready. Let's start with gripes. That is my gripe. Steam is almost an entire update edition ahead of us on Xbox. So if you are thinking about playing the game, you haven't started it yet, Steam might be the option for you, especially if you were going to buy it anyway. Steam might be the option for you. They also have dedicated servers. Xbox does not. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you're going to play multiplayer on Xbox, I think it's limited to 4. You have 4 players that share one world that's hosted on one of those 4 players' own client. So what that means in my case with Topaz, if one of us wanted to play with the other, I would either have to join your world or vice versa. That leads us to gripe number 3. Gripe number 3 is that if I have been grinding and I'm like level 40 or whatnot, and I have all these pals that I love and all this gear, if I were to join your world, even just to help you out with something or anything, I start
fresh.
Completely over.
That's right.
I can't. So all that time feels a little wasted. So I guess I get a little bit why they do that since there's actually different difficulty levels. But I wouldn't have that problem if they had dedicated servers, because what I wanted to do in my mind's eye when I was getting ready for this game, I was expecting and hoping to boot up a server that we would all share, and it would be it'd be a lot like Fortnite Lego, like where it didn't matter if I was online. If you had some time and wanted to jump on and do something, you could, and vice versa.
Right.
Those are my gripes. You got any gripes?
Dude, I totally agree with all the gripes you just shared.
Yes, double gripes.
Because it would make the game a whole lot better. And not saying that it's not going to happen, but being that Xbox is behind, kind of makes things difficult for us wanting to play together with the other guys as well. So that would be amazing if that one server was a thing and we could all get up in there and say, I go, you can't get on one day, I get on and just go and do some stuff. And then you get back on the next time. You're like, oh, this is completely different. That's cool. You know,
that's kind of what I want, especially since there's security keys where you can lock your stuff up anyway.
Yeah.
That is borderline dumb on Xbox because there's not anybody there to steal your stuff. So, but it makes sense on a real server.
You know, I ran into that because I got one of those brick wall. I think I was telling you about my
Your base?
fortress.
Oh, you have your own little fortress of solitude going on there, Superman?
My brick fortress.
Okay.
With the brick walls and the brick gate.
And
I was able
memories
to
of your
lock the
father.
gate.
And I'm still making Superman references. Please keep going. It's all right. We're on the same page now. We are making it.
I did say fortress, didn't I?
You did. And
you
then I said Fortress of
Solitude.
Solitude.
That's right. That's right. Oh, God.
You said, I ain't putting up with this fool.
No. You keep your foolery, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Don't
Thank
let
you.
it go.
I'm going to put it right here in my pocket. Okay. Continue.
But yeah, I was trying to lock the gate, trying to block some piles from coming in from raids. If you guys played it, you know there's raids and different piles come up in that thing and start to destroy or with the intent to destroy. But if you got some strong enough piles to take care of them things, you ain't got to worry about it. But, you know, I had my gate up there and I was like, oh, this is a raid coming through. So I went to the door. Well, I rung the little bell, make sure everybody was on attack mode, went to the door and attempted to lock it. But, I mean, it definitely locked.
Yeah, it locks it. You can't open
it
without the key.
But, I mean, I can still open it.
Yeah.
But just thinking about, there's nobody else that would be used for on the server.
Yeah.
So why?
Because there's not a server.
Thing? But
it makes sense on Steam because there might actually be other people. And PvP is supposed to be coming. That's something they're working on. Like right now, I don't know if we could hurt each other anyway. I don't know if like friendly fire is on. I don't know if we could hurt it. We might. I don't know. Because PvP isn't fully fleshed out. They were trying to figure that out. However, I know that all these gripes that I have said so far are going to be fixed because, you know, cross-play between Steam and Xbox is coming, which means the only way for that to happen is the Xbox version is going to have to be brought up to Unity with the Steam version. They're not going to downgrade Steam. My gripe there is, you know, now we've got a pretty significant amount of hours in this game. I don't want to start over to make a server so that we can play together again. And I don't want to ask anybody to start over. I'm thinking this is how it's going to work. This is my prediction. I'm thinking that whenever we come up to Unity, I'll be able to turn my existing world into a server and invite people, which is appealing to me, but that doesn't sound very fun for you because that means you, like say you joined my server, now Topaz is a level 1 again.
you know, work my way up.
Unless I would love it.
2 worlds combined.
I don't know if they'll combine the worlds, but I would love this if since they're so late to the ball, Pocket Pair, this is just a suggestion that I really, really would appreciate. If I was able to migrate my world to a server, but then when I invited you, you were given the option to migrate your character to my world. You would still lose your base and things like that, unless you played the other world. You'd still lose things like that, but like armor or at least stats, things that you've already grinded and worked for, you'd retain. That would be ideal, I think. It's not ideal.
Retain the pals.
At least your party.
Your party.
I don't know how. Maybe you could bring your whole box, but that seems problematic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they would fix that, but I could deal with having to recatch some pals because I know where they all are. If I could keep, you know, the weapons that I have on me, my armor, and primarily all those stats, like what you really had to grind for. Did my camera just turn off? what you really have to grind for whenever you're trying to, I guess, get those skill points that you need to upgrade, like how much you can carry and your stamina and things like that. If I had to grind all that again, it'd be real tough.
Yeah.
But if I can keep those stats, I can make another bow. I don't care about that much. I can make, I can catch, at least as far as I know, there's not any pals that are like, there's only one in the world. I think there's multiple. So like I can catch everything again. Now, it would be cool. Like I wouldn't mind if I could bring my entire pal box over. But that sounds like the easiest way to cheat ever. Like you could just help, unless you only get to do it once. Like since it's, like an update type thing, maybe you get to choose to do it one time. Then that would be awesome. That's the only way I could see you do it. I want to hear what you think about, or what the beginning of your experience has been like though. And what you're thinking while I check that camera and make sure that it's actually still recording. So have at it.
Well, one day I began to open this game after uploading it and downloading it to my PC, Xbox Game Pass. Since I'm there now with the experience, thanks to Webby and other parties, I'm a PC Game Pass player.
Game Plasma
TV player. Well, booting up the game, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
You seem enthusiastic about it. Oh my God, this is the best game I've ever played.
This game I'm playing, I love it.
Can you see how excited I am?
It's the beautifulest thing I've ever played before.
This is better than
Have you
chocolate.
played this? You should play this.
Okay, on a real note, I have said, and I got called out about it on stream yesterday, but I have said that I don't like survival games. And that's not entirely true. I just don't have the time, man. I'm so tired. I don't know what it is about Palworld, but I sure do keep playing it. The only thing I can think is I play it in the evenings, like when things are mostly done.
Because you like Pokemon.
I don't. Well, actually, maybe. You know how I've talked about, like, I want to like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to. It's just the way
You've
that...
gotten what you've been wanting from another game.
I think maybe... Well, I could do a little bit without all the, like, the crafting and things.
Yeah.
But it really is. My favorite Pokemon game on the Switch, is actually Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But the one that I think has been the best on the Switch is also that. But the one that feels the most inventive is actually Arceus. Really enjoyed that. The only thing is, I don't love the way it looks. I think you're hitting the nail on the head, my man. Because I feel like this game, if I were to describe it to someone, and I've done it this way a little bit, I would say that it is 50% Ark Survival Evolved, plus 40% Pokemon Arceus, plus maybe 10% Tears of the Kingdom.
I agree.
You mash that together, and you get Palworld.
Right.
And okay, what difficulty are you playing it on?
Normal.
Yeah, I'm playing it on casual.
I mean, hey, you do what you do.
Remember how I don't want to grind? I want smooth. I don't want sandpaper. I want glass. You know what I'm saying? I want it easy.
So when you jump off a cliff, how does that work?
Well, you die. That's what.
Okay. Long as that's the same
Do
thing.
you think you just like float there?
You know, like in Pokemon, Sword and
Oh, if you jump on a cliff in Sword or Scarlet and Violet,
your
you just...
Rotom phone catches you and you just
What?
hit the floor. You never done that? You probably didn't play.
Sometimes I've fallen through the floor in Pokemon. What are you talking about? Like I've hit the ground and kept going.
Oh, that's patched now.
I hope. I'm glad.
Dude, so yeah, I mean, first it kind of hesitates, and you hesitate before you even go off the cliff, and I guess that's just a warning, like, hey, you need to back up. But forget the warning and just jump. And then while you get to the ground, you pull out the phone, and it holds up like this, and it just glides you down to the ground.
Man, what a cushy life. Yeah, let me
But
give
in
you
Palworld, you're dead.
let me give you a visualization of what it looks like if you walk off a cliff in Palworld.
You're dead.
Now, here's the part where you'll make fun of me. You do die, and then you have to wait 5 seconds to respawn. When you respawn, do you retain any of your inventory?
No,
Okay.
you're completely.
But you can go back
clothesless.
and get it, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder, I think the hardcore mode, I think it's just gone. I don't even know if you can go back and retrieve it. I don't know if you can.
No,
that would make it hardcore.
I know there is a setting, like on custom settings. There's a bunch of stuff you can customize and set
Man.
your experience to be. I tried that one time, and
That
I
is
thought I
good.
was setting it all at a good level. This time when I died, all my pals are gone.
Yeah.
all my clothes, all my everything, and I had to go back and get them. But I died again trying to get them because it was in a spot where the respawn rate for strong pals appeared, and especially that moon thing, the bat moon looking stand up thing. Have you seen that yet?
Nope.
What is it?
I've seen a tom bat.
Moon. No, not the
Moon Knight.
not the flying bat thing.
Yeah.
He's he's really cool looking,
Ursa Luna.
He is extremely strong. I know Moon is in his name.
What's the moon Pokemon? There's like a sun one and a moon. I think it's literally from Sun and Moon.
Solus, no, Lunar. Are you talking about the legendaries?
Yes.
Oh, Luna.
That didn't get you any closer.
Solgaleo is the lion, and Lunala.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I gotta stop
didn't like
playing
that.
Palworld.
You gotta stop doing whatever that was.
Trying to find out the L's.
That's all right.
Look,
You don't need to stop playing Palworld because it's where it's at.
I got my phone.
I do want to comment on something you said while you looked that up. I really appreciate Palworld for having custom settings that are that good because I did just play casual, but it is really cool that everybody can literally make the version of the game that feels the best for their game, like their play style. Like you can really do that. So here's where ours differs. So you die and on normal mode, and then you lose your stuff, but you can go and retrieve your stuff. In casual, when you die, you just respawn with all your stuff back.
Lot Moon.
Oh yeah, I have one of him.
Very, very.
He's pretty aggressive too.
Very strong. I love him.
Or not when you got these guns. No, no, he was tough. I actually caught him before I had any guns, and he was very tough.
Put that away. Spoiling
yeah,
stuff.
Spoiling stuff. Man, I can't believe yourself right now. Just internet. Just
oh my gosh.
Get
outta
offline.
here.
Go out. Touch some
to get back to
grass. Gosh darn it.
There we go.
Anyway,
19 million.
sold.
Yes.
That's crazy.
From 2 days ago, or
so the game
whatever that day was.
that is 19 million sold, and the game is only on PC and Xbox. And does that 19 million? I don't know if it did for you, but the last time I looked, I don't think that 19 million factors in Game Pass players. Right? That's just people who bought it. If I understand correctly, I think that's just people who bought it.
Oh, it's showing all of them.
Oh, so it's 19 million players. Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. Okay, that's not necessarily purchased, but that means that there are 12 million purchased because there are 12 million Steam and then 7 million Xbox players.
Yeah.
19 million. So that's a little bit different. But still
a lot.
12 million. That means roughly we could say 12 million copies sold because you had to buy it on Steam. Dude, this one, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, but this one might actually be not the Pokemon killer, but the Pokemon competitor. Because I've heard people say that it's the Pokemon killer, and then people are like, "Nah, Tim and Monster Hunter, oh, these are the Pokemon killers, and they didn't kill anything."
Forget about Monster.
They didn't sell 12 million copies in the first 2 weeks.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Imagine this is what I want to imagine: like 12 million copies on Steam alone. 7 million more that would have been purchased, but they're Steam players on Xbox. Imagine how this could compete with a Pokemon like a Nintendo if this game, because we're in early access, if this game also releases on PlayStation and Switch. Can you imagine this game literally on the same console that that Pokemon is on?
Yeah.
Okay, that will
crazy.
shift everything. Now I don't know if Nintendo can do anything to keep them off their platform. Like I'm sure that there's things that they can do, like, oh, we don't allow this, but they're gonna have to like have like there have to be like a reasonable thing. I don't think they can just have them off because they're a type of game, you know, like another game similar to their game. That feels a little like monopolistic, and I don't know if they can do that, but I know they're probably not going to want it on the Switch. So it's going to be really interesting, and I don't know how well the game would play if it would play well on the Switch. It'd definitely play well on the PlayStation 5. It would hands down have no problem with the PS5, and that alone would get you pretty heavy in the Japanese market. If you can't do Nintendo, your next bet is PlayStation. If we had it on everything, I think it would outsell Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is what I hope happens. So I don't want Nintendo necessarily to come after Palworld and like shut it down. I am a little biased because I am liking the game. I desperately do want Pokemon to see the success, and take notes.
I agree.
Because personal opinion, and some people probably share this opinion, I think people would like die off of Pokemon. Of Palworld a little bit if Pokemon released an answer. And if they released a game that was just as good or especially better than Palworld, people have nostalgia and brand recognition with Pokemon. They'll play that game instead. Like I really believe that. But if they release another Scarlet Violet situation, like I've already went on record to saying I'm not planning on picking up, at least not day one, I'm not picking up the next Pokemon game. Like I've bought every Pokemon game on Switch, and with the exception of honestly, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I've been pretty disappointed. I thought Sword and Shield was okay.
Arceus.
No, Arceus was my favorite game mechanic that they've done, but even it wasn't enough to keep me playing, and because I didn't actually fully complete it, and I also hated the way it looked.
Yeah,
like it looked like a 3DS game. So if we could get, even this buggy early access game right now, like Palworld, the world looks better. The characters look even if you're real limited on what you can create, they look better than
Pals look pretty cool.
Arceus.
Now,
the Pals look good.
When you start, it almost the first time we played it just looked a little weird, but once you get into it, and then all the updates they've done helped a whole lot. So it's a beautiful game, and the Pals are really nice, and just it's been a great experience. The riding mechanics,
I wish the birds flew a little faster. That's the only thing. Well, the only one I have that I can ride right now is Nightwing. I have other birds, but I don't have
there's
saddles.
There's a way those little green things you find around the road.
Those increase your player stats.
No.
The Leaf Monk statues.
No, I'm sorry.
You're thinking
the
of
tall tower thing.
Yeah, the
that you put your extra
like the
pals
Syndicate
in
towers
to update like the main skill of that.
Are you meaning the dude who looks like Lucario, like the statue of Anubis?
No.
Okay.
So it's a big
Help me
tall
understand what you're
tower.
talking about. Okay.
It's a big tall tower. It looks like a hyperbolic time chamber or something like that.
You drawing all the parallels to other
it's
franchises.
It's a huge tower that all the extra pals don't sell those things because you can put them all. You need now they updated it. The first one was like 12. You needed 12 pals. Oh no, it was 8 pals. They've updated it in the first one. You need just like 4, and then it increases.
I've heard that, and you can basically sacrifice them to increase what you have.
Yes.
Is
that one main pal that you know?
Is that something you build, or do you have to go to that location?
You have to build it. It's one of the pal main equipment things.
I bet you I already have that unlocked.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably do because
I need to
you're
do
past
that.
the level that you get it.
I need to do that. I just built the breeding station and realized that I needed cake to do that, and I don't have honey, so I'm trying to find.
I hate how long it takes to make some old cakes. I hate it.
Well, how leveled up is your you're obviously using a pal for your pot, right? Mm-hmm. What's their kindling level? You don't know, do you?
It's pretty high because I got one of the horse-looking dragon things.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nope, but
Okay.
that's enough for me.
Got one of those, and he's pretty strong. So everything else is like. But then when you get to the cakes, and then when I get there, and even when I have some of those diligent pendants, I guess I got 2 of them. They're the yellow ones in my person, and then his work stuff is probably like it's not as high as I need to get it. But with all that and myself, actually no.
Do you have
because making the cakes, you're the only one that can do that. Nobody help you out. Oh wait, I'm lying.
Yeah.
So, because you have to have the firepower to help you speed it up, but even with all that, it's still slow.
Do you have the little brazier things that you can put next to your cooking things that increases the efficiency of kindling pals? So it's one of the PAL technology things that you do. It goes in other though in your categorization, but it looks like a little brazier. Like imagine like what you would use to like burn like a little fire pit. Mm-hmm. It looks like that, and you put it next to it, and it next to wherever they're doing their kindling, and it increases.
Dude, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, it increases the efficiency. I forget what it's called, but I can show it to you. It's no big deal. And I am confident because I think you're a higher level than me. I'm confident you've already unlocked that. You just haven't built one. It takes a good bit of iron. Like you do, like you have to 48 iron ingot and like 4 or 5 flame organs to do it. But we're getting a little too nit and gritty on it, but I definitely will help you do that. For our overarching experience there. I will say I built up my entire base the other night in wood and then got raided by an Incineram and all of that burned down. Even though I had 13 water pals extinguishing it, it wouldn't put out. So I finally started just breaking the ones that were on fire. And,
Have you unlocked the brick?
Yeah, I just
yet?
lazy. I just hadn't done it because I spent most of the night doing that. I thought this would be fine because I hadn't really been raided that much, and it feels like it's like they took that as a challenge. Like I put those wood fences up, and then they were like, "I'm gonna send fire things now." Of course, you just lost. No, you just lost the stone that was outside.
Yeah, I
of your
lost
ring.
all my stone outside of my ring. Wish I would have known because it was up for a very long time. I put the little stone fence around, and it was up for days and days in Palworld. And then just the other day, I just logged onto it the other night. It might have been, the other night I just logged onto it and I got a raid. It's never happened before. My gate was open. I always have my gate closed. They circled around, came straight in my gate, and we started fighting, doing all that stuff. And after they were all dead, my breeding fence thing caught on fire, so I lost some very important eggs. I was breeding one of the Vold thingy with Anubis.
Okay.
And I was going to make something. I don't remember what it was going to make, but I had 2 eggs in there, and they completely destroyed that, so I had to do another one. But anyway, next thing you know, I'm looking around I'm like, where's my brick fence that goes into this slot? That's gone. I know they couldn't have destroyed this because there was no way they could destroy this. So I started looking around, and then I turned around, make a complete circle, and come back. I'm missing another wall. And then I'm just sitting there. I stood still, and I watched, and sure enough, they disappeared, the ones outside of that ring. So if there's stuff outside of your ring in your bases, outside of your base ring, it's going to disappear over time. So use it wisely.
Or move it.
Or move it.
Like break it down and save the materials
Which
and bring it in.
sucks because that's not enough space. I want more space.
Or you
So
can do
let's
another
increase that
base.
ring.
I wonder if you can put bases right next to each other.
You probably could. That'd be.
I don't know if they could overlap, but I mean, you could make like a figure 8 base, basically. That could be. Let's try it. I have this theory I shared with you that I want to use my second base box, and I want to go outside of one of the alphas that I can't beat yet. Place a base right next to where his little area is, and put 13 of my most powerful pals in it and lure him over there to basically I want to jump him. That's basically what I want to do. I'm gonna
And
set
you
a
can
trap.
pick it up after you're done. You just
That's
catch
right.
it one time, just destroy that base, and you're good.
That's right. And just
That's
move on to the next guy who looks at me the wrong way.
Hilarious. What a game, though. It's
Yeah. Well, what about the fact that how many people have you caught?
probably 12.
Says a lot about the gamer.
I mean, hey, I need you to help me out. Like the Islanders
That's what you
the
do. I
settlements,
need you to help me out. So come on.
It's like they don't
In
give
the
you an
ball.
option to be like, hey, you want to move to my base? Mm-hmm. You just gotta, I think that's what they want, though. They want you, because once they get to
I
your
feel
base,
like selling something. What merchant am I going to set free today?
once you put them to work at your base, they're just like normal people.
Yeah.
You're
Except for their glowing eyes. Because you burned their soul away. Yeah, I definitely. So my wife was going to play it with me, and I was like, it grew on me, but when I was first playing it, I was playing on a controller, and I feel like the throw a pal, catch a pal, shoot, the mechanics being on the bumpers just didn't feel right. It seemed a little odd, and so
It's
I was
different
always.
now. There's an update.
Oh,
you
it's
update
been
it?
the same for me.
It's weird. I just updated it.
Yeah.
And it changed a lot. Has changed. So I'm.
Oh, I wouldn't
trying to
like
figure it
that
all
because
out.
I'm finally used to it.
I know.
Want it to change.
I know.
Well, I was throwing empty balls all the time, or spheres. I should use the right
Oh,
term. I was
yeah.
using it. I was in it
So
all the
many.
time. Well, now I don't care as much if it happens because I have over 300 of the blue ones on me
Same.
anytime. But that happened. I went. And I had like aimed like my bow and arrow and everything, and I went to shoot, but I was doing it with that new Bluey controller that was like locked up, so I actually hit the bumper, and I went, "Broop," and I threw it, and I was fighting syndicate people, like a syndicate thug, I think is what it was, and so I threw a ball at him, and it was like 0.3%. He went in the ball, and I was like, "You can catch." I mean, I didn't succeed, so then obviously I was like, "Well, can you succeed?"
Yes.
So I caught him. But I've only caught syndicates because they're bad people. You're catching merchants trying to make a living.
That's right. Yeah. And you're catching pals, putting them in the cage. So why don't I just
How do you like it?
you and show you? And I'll let you go later.
Have you come across the pacifist group yet that doesn't want, like, they want all pals
Are
to
they
be
in
free?
like white and green?
Yeah, and they shoot
Yeah.
arrows at you.
Yeah.
Get this.
I got a couple of them.
Have you gone on? You'll see them wandering around, but have you made it to their actual, like, one of their bases?
With the pal in the cage? Wait.
Not the syndicate ones. Like, they'll have, like, teepees, basically, like tents all around instead of, like, the regular base. You've
They
been
have
to one
like
of them?
stronger pals?
Yeah,
in
get this
prison?
though. Their whole thing is about having, like, pals should be free. And you get to one of their bases, there's a pal in a cage in the middle. Like, what? But yeah, I guess they have stronger ones. I got a whatever the little like goat fire one is. Not the Incineram, not the one that walks on like that's bipedal, the one that's quadrupedal,
Yeah.
but I got one of him from him. I'd already had a couple though. but-
Have you seen the fire people and then the ice people?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I have seen the police.
Way stronger now.
Yeah, I have met the thugs. Like,
I have one of the police. He's working at my base right now. He's like level 20 or
you're an
something
awful,
like that.
you're a terrible person.
He's my security, you know.
Yeah.
He helps
I'm
me
sure
out
he's
with
getting a
his
great
gun.
wage.
You know, it's like
I mean, they are pretty powerful.
I feed him.
You know? Wait, did he go hungry? Does he go over to the
Yes,
feed box?
he does.
He just eats with the
He
animals.
eats with the- I mean, there's like real food. You know, you put real food in there as well. Hopefully, he get to it before the pals get to it. But you know, that's what happens, guys. He is.
I mean, yes, the pig trough, but I put a PB and J in there.
You can make those, right?
Yes, you
Yeah.
So you're not even making him that. You're making him just bread.
Bread and when the
You get bread and
Get all
roasted
that.
berries, boy.
get all that pal meat from the big pals and
Mm-hmm.
cook the pal meat. He got some rotisserie, a lot of stuff put in there.
Look at you taking good care of your.
Gotta make
New
sure
friend.
my humans are good.
That's it.
My humans. That
Yep.
sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's where it started sounding horrible. Like, we just got there. We obviously don't condone any type of anything like that, but the game, it is crazy that's a mechanic in there. But anyway, like that happened. I told my wife about it. And she was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna play this game." And she was like, "It's a terrible." Because also, if you kill a pal, their body just flops there for like a
Unless
day.
you have that machete, huh? Did you try that out? Did
Nope,
you get-
I didn't buy one. I decided that
get
I'm gonna
one
be a
either.
pacifist.
Or not
It's a
machete.
knife.
What is it? Yeah, big.
It looks like a hatchet, but it's like
Hatchet.
a knife or something. Yeah, I didn't get it because my pals are my friends. However, I will say,
Those pals are trying to kill you, though.
well, those go down, but I don't like carve their body up. They drop a little bit, like
That's horrible. I am not horrible, guys. I love animals and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
especially their insides. But no, anyway, that happened. And she's like, I don't think I'm gonna play it. And like all their bodies were around. And she's like, I just don't know if I want to play it. This
All
is
their
kind of
bodies are.
well. And she was like, I don't know if I'm gonna play it. Like this is kind of awful. And I was like, I mean, it's like the real life. And she was like, what? And I was like, I mean, you can do all those things. It's still bad. Like you can choose. You can choose to be the type of player that wants to catch other humans. Or
Yeah,
you could
criminal
not.
activity is a thing in this game.
Yeah, in this world is what
In
I thought
this
you were going to
world,
say.
yeah.
Yeah. So those things happen. It's just what kind of player do you want to be? And I've decided that I'm trying to keep it chill. I've decided not to carve up my characters.
Whittier is the absolute safest law-abiding citizen in Palworld.
Is he? I bet he
believe
had.
so.
Yeah, no, I while I haven't like carved up anything, your boy's a poacher. Like I have definitely snuck onto the base and be like, "You get in the ball, you get in the ball." Oh my gosh, they're shooting at me, and then you shoot back at the police.
Oh yeah.
Is this
Assault.
is this Palworld or is this GTA?
It's GTA. GTA meets all those other games.
Grand Theft Pokemon is what I've been playing.
Grand Theft Pokemon. Oh my gosh.
But I definitely caught some illegals and brought them back. But I feel bad about what I did. The reason I got into a fight with the police is because I got there at nighttime and they were like asleep on the ground. It was the first one that I'd seen. And I was like, this is so terrible.
If you could catch him. Like
No, it's way worse than that. I went up to him and I was like, he's going to be a problem later. So I took out my musket. And I went, pop! He had a little slither of health up and he was like, huh! And then I shot him again and he was gone. But then his friends heard and they were like, and it said, you've been spotted. And those didn't take any damage. Like I kept trying to fight them. I tried to run away and they would just respawn with me. Took them all the way to the base and I still couldn't take them out. But every time I'd hit them, they wouldn't take any damage. But it said wanted in the top right. And I got wanted for poaching 2 pals.
Oh, man.
And then for assault. And every time I'd shoot them or hit them, that assault counter would go up. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So when you got
They
them
ended up
back to
killing
your
me.
base, were they the ones that burnt your base?
No, the center rim got me.
Oh, that's right, Cinerams.
They got back to the base. There were no walls anymore, which was fine with me. I just wanted to get there so I'd have backup because that's where I had all my pals.
And there's a
they
time
didn't take
limit
them.
on it.
They killed a pal. Like that was at the base. I've never had that happen. Like I had to take him. It's like I've had them like get fatigued or things like that. But he like actually went out, so
You
I had to
put him in the
I had to put him
power
up in the
box?
box to heal him. Yeah.
Dude, I've had so many casualties. Not casualties,
Have you? Mm-hmm.
because you can bring them back in the power box. But I had a bunch of them that kind of went down. Like the weaker ones, kind of
Yeah.
like the Vixies and,
Oh, yeah.
and the chickens and all
Very
those
Darwin
stuff.
of you. I mean, like only the strongest survive on this base.
They be hungry, they be starving, but they survive. No.
All in all, though, I do think it's a great game. I think it's worth playing, especially if you like Ark. If you like Ark and you like Pokemon, I think you'll love this game. I really do.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I don't know what's going to happen legally. I don't think anything's really going to come of it, to be completely honest. I mean, there are some pals that I've looked at and been like, oh,
Yeah, because Anubis is
that looks
Lucario,
close. But see, the thing is,
but he's Egyptian Lucario.
all right, I talked about this like in the last episode a little bit, but I'll say it again. I don't know. Some people are really up in arms, and I'll just do it quick about like Lamball and how it looks like the one from Sword and Shield and things like that, or like Anubis. And here's my thing: when it comes to Lamball, I was like, Nintendo doesn't own the copyright on sheep.
You're
Like
right.
it just looks like they based it on a real life animal, and how distant can you get? If anything, Pal's like Lamball, he looks more unique than what Pokemon did. That just looks like a sheep. And then when it comes to Anubis, here's the thing: Anubis, that character, is based off the Egyptian god Anubis, who has a dog head. Like he has the head of a dog. So they just took that inspiration, and then they gave him like the dog feet, and he's wearing like he even has like humanish like skin tones, and then he also wears like an Egyptian garb.
Yeah.
So actually,
He's pretty awesome.
it's not that they didn't copy Lucario. They took inspiration from actual Anubis, even gave him the name. And Lucario is based on Anubis as well. They just based it off the same source material. So similar idea. It's where they have a similar idea and the same color scheme that it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
And where things are like exactly the same.
I think Anubis actually has 5. He actually has fingers.
Yeah, he has hands. He just has like the rounded kind of dog paws for
Yeah.
feet, but he does have actual human hands.
And Lucario definitely has
Nubs.
paws, nubs.
So they're not the same. It's similar
pretty
ideas. The thing is, when you've got over 1,000 Pokemon that are based on real life animal, like Palworld had to put interesting creatures in this world, to the point that there are some that I understand, but like when you talk about Lamball, or like there's some of them that are just what they're like chickpea or whatever it is just a chicken.
Yeah.
And then what is it like I feel like Nightwing looks a lot like a Staravia and a Pidgeotto kind of mixed, but at the same time,
Gale,
it just
Galehawk
looks like a sparrow.
looks like a Pidgeot.
I saw that one. Color is a little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I raise you that's just based on a bald eagle,
Yeah.
and then Nightwing is just based on a sparrow.
Yeah.
So like where do we draw the line? Like does Nintendo own the copyright to llamas? No. You know what I mean? I think that there's only a case when you can see like this one's hard. Like, so I don't remember the name of the pal, but you know the little purple pal that like grins at you and has the yellow teeth and it walks on all fours? It has the exact same face as the I can't remember if it's the Alolan or Galarian. I think it's a Alolan Meowth. The really shaggy Meowth. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know how he just looks at you and has the big grin?
Mm-hmm.
This other pal has that same face. And like it's exactly the same smile down to like they have the exact same amount of teeth. And that I don't.
It's not the main starter, kind of the scratchy little thing.
No, it's not that pink cat. It's I'll show him. I'll find one to show
You said
you.
he's on all fours.
Yeah,
Does
he's
he have
about-
like a pearl on his neck?
Nope. know what yesterday was?
Your birthday.
No, it wasn't.
It was Webby's birthday.
It was, well, I call it his anniversary, but I guess it kind of so. It wasn't my birthday, but I guess the idea, well, I guess it's not even the birthday of the idea, because the idea formed before it actually was executed. But yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of my very first live stream when we started making content. I know, you think
Snaps in the chat.
you'd think I'd be doing better by now. No.
Snaps in the comments.
I have some thoughts on not doing better, and I'm going to share most of that story, if you haven't heard already, in the bonus episode. But for this part of the episode, I just kind of want to like celebrate it, because there's definitely, I've got a lot of feelings and thoughts about why I'm where I am now, and but also how much I've like learned and appreciated over the course of this whole thing. But yeah, no, we celebrated. So I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday on Twitch, and I have been streaming on Kick, but I'm thinking about stopping because I've streamed to nobody for in total of 32 days now, and I just don't think the platform is what people are saying it was. I could save the bandwidth and do something different. If you guys want to see high quality, I could go up to 1440. I got the bandwidth for that. I could do a 1440p stream on YouTube for members only. If you guys are interested, let me know. But that's neither here nor there. So we did a stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We do a stream, and it worked out this year so that Tuesday, which was the 6th, was a normal stream day, and the 7th is the anniversary. And so what I decided to do was I'm going to start on the 6th and just do my normal stream time and everything, like where I normally go. But instead of getting off of the stream at my normal end time, I'm going to ring in the new year. New year, new Webby, one of those things. So we kept going all the way until we went until 1 a.m. Eastern time, which was crazy. So we went a little bit further, but that way everybody that was kind of behind us in time zones kind of felt like they got to celebrate it as well. I guess I didn't technically quite make it there if you're on all the way to the West Coast, Best Coast. But yeah, I didn't quite do that. But it was great. I made a strategic decision to not play Spyro, which I've been playing. I played Spyro last Friday because I actually was because I'm a boss, I was actually kind of going through it a little too fast. And so I didn't play Spyro last Friday so that I could play a little bit of Year of the Dragon for the Year of the Dragon on the anniversary date. And we just hung out, played some other things. The 6th was also the day that Foam Stars came out. So that was exciting, which is kind of like, if you don't know what that is, it's basically PlayStation or Square Enix's answer to Splatoon. It's basically what it is. But we played the demo of it back when we tried that, and it was a pretty good time. I really enjoyed that one. So I was very excited to see it come out free to play. So we just hung out. We had a really good time, and I wanted to like bring that up to kind of celebrate here, since we this is a different place, different platform, but still content, to just have a second, basically kind of to celebrate together. Because 5 years that's crazy, man. Like you could put a kid into school in that amount of time, And I feel like I need some schooling on how to keep doing this stuff. But
I thought you were gonna say you feel like you need a kid.
No. I don't feel like that. Well, I
Lil Webby.
It ebbs and flows.
Wait,
sometimes
is Lil Webby an actual person?
That's my rap name.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried to go by Little P, but it didn't work well. So, Little Webby.
Little PP.
That's my father.
My gosh.
I try to implement that whole joke of the whole like Mr. Pumpkin. No, Mr. Pumpkin is my father. I try to implement that joke in as many places as I can. And what I'm learning is that it doesn't work in most cases. But yeah, so
Pumpkin.
It was pretty cool. And of course, you've been around like in different capacities for a pretty decent portion of that 5 year.
Yeah.
And everything. I know you submitted it, so we did this cool video and everything that I'm not at liberty to fully go into because at the time of recording I haven't finished it. So just to be real with you guys, but so many people came out. What I did was I asked just people who have been on the journey or at different stages of the journey and everything. I asked them to just submit like a casual video, it didn't have to be anything, and I didn't watch any of them until it was time to edit, because I was either going to do like a documentary type video, which is kind of what I had in mind. But if I didn't get enough, submissions, I wasn't going to be able to, because there just wouldn't have been enough to fill that space. So then if that happened, I was going to do like a reaction type thing. And so I didn't want to have seen them in case I was doing that reaction so that could be genuine. But it ended up working really, really well. That camera died again, and I put a fresh battery in it. It ended up working really, really well because I was able to not only get, well, I ended up getting 9 total submissions, I believe. I think that's right, if I remember right. And because I've gotten some that came in a little bit late, but I had some like life stuff happen, so I'm a little late on editing anyway. And it's going to be plenty, and it's just really, really cool to reminisce on the, I guess, kind of like milestone people that have been along this, because it's streaming can be a pretty like unsupported type of, it's not even a profession for me yet. I'd love for it to be, but like it's kind of an unsupported deal sometimes. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things like that. So, yeah,
you need to know that you appreciate it.
Yeah,
You,
it was cool.
Deserve
It's real cool.
rewards.
I like rewards.
Here.
Yeah, I have some here. Well, cheers.
Cha-ching.
I don't know if that came across the mic or not, but we'll find out. If it didn't, I'll put a fake sound there. But
Cha-ching.
that's what I'll use. But anyway, so that's really all I had to say about that. I just wanted to take a second, to basically say, like, thank you guys. Like, the primary reason that it's possible and that I haven't, like, burnt out on it is the community. Like, you guys that watch this and hang out and come into the chat over on Twitch or leave comments here on YouTube and just kind of, are kind of up against me and we share this commonality, this common interest together. And it's real special. It's really cool. It's really cool. So
I would like to speak for the community.
Okay.
Thank you, Webby. Everything you've done has been a blessing
You think?
for the gourd.
It's been for the...
And we really thank you for not giving up.
Appreciate that.
We thank you for pressing every week after week, every stream, and doing this thing. Not looking at life circumstances, all that stuff happening for you, but you still find ways to show up and make sure your community is taken care of. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
Webbs.
I appreciate that. I try. I definitely, I've gone through a couple metamorphoses along the way, but it's been cool. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're in the comment section now. We're in the comment section
What a
now.
crappy
We're
take.
in the comment
That was really
section
cool.
now.
Here are the comments. All right, guys. I realized that I made a fatal issue or error on the last section of the last episode of comment section, because I realized that we are pre-recording a little bit so that we can make sure that the quality is at a certain level, and that means that we don't actually get together every single week.
Right.
So we can't read last week's comments every time. So what we're going to do is that we're only going to do this comment sections when we're together so that we can react on it. And we are going to just compile the last few comments into that episode, and then we'll catch you again probably once, maybe twice a month, depending on how the comments go. So be sure you leave those comments in the description, well, not description. Leave those comments underneath the video. Leave those comments on the audio version of the podcast so we can hear you. Right here, we've got some YouTube comments.
Okay,
from last year.
YouTube.
First up, we got Sir Twiggy said, "Great show. Appreciate you, Twiggy.
Thanks, Twigs.
You the best. I'm borrowing my wife's iPad to do this, by the way. I mean, this is a good color on me.
It's
Don't get me
okay,
wrong.
yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
beautiful, right?
You can pull that off.
It's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got a lot from Insane Godman. I'm gonna put all of his together in one form. We got Mr. Whittier Jones said that intro, middle tro, and outro though. Look, we got a bonus episode coming up where we're gonna talk a little bit about the making of that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I am loving the little sound bites, and I kind of want to make some more. I really kind of do. I just don't have good ideas, but I think it's really funny. Insane Godman.
Hey, ideas in the comments.
Ideas in the comments. Let's hear it. Let's go. Record yourself singing and issue submissions. That'd
We
be
can
great.
make it happen, guys.
Even if it's literally just an audio thing. If you guys want to be like, that was really loud. Sorry, audio listeners. You're listening to the Webb Show or ring, ring, ring. Send in your skits. If we like it, if it's funny, we'll use it in an upcoming episode. That would be awesome. You can send those to webbypumpkin@gmail.com. Check it out. Love that. Or you can hit me up in Discord. Insane Godman had a lot to say, and I absolutely love that he did. He said, I still can't believe that the game that PlayStation chose for Game of the Year is a game that they made themselves. That was my whole thing. It's literally the, oh, little Susie, that's okay. We'll get the community center and give you an award even though you didn't deserve it.
I love it.
He said, also, Tears of the Kingdom should have won. And I know that he means Game of the Year overall, not the Sony Game of the Year, because it couldn't have, but that would have been funny. Webby, I did not just hear you say that Spider-Man 2 is better than Tears of the Kingdom. Then he said, Webby, I need a detailed video on why Spider-Man is better than Tears of the Kingdom with Topaz. We need like a pros and cons list. I don't know if I'm fully going to give you a pros and cons list, to be completely honest. But what I will give you is a little explanation as to why I said what I said when I said what I said. If you see what I'm saying. And I don't know if you actually agree with me.
Hey, let's
All right.
let's shoot for it.
Tears of the Kingdom was the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Spider-Man 2 was the sequel, you could say, to both Spider-Man
Miles Morales.
and Miles Morales. It depends on what you call Miles Morales. Was Miles Morales really the sequel or one of the sequels, or is it like big DLC? I don't call it big DLC because it got released separately, like as its own thing.
Yeah.
But it is like it's a mini game basically, or side quest, I guess, like side story game. All that to say, you do need to play both of them before you play the second one if you really want to get the most out of the experience.
And story.
This is what I believe. I believe that Spider-Man 2, both of them really, really took a lot of inspiration and information from their predecessors.
Yeah.
The problem is that Tears of the Kingdom, whenever it was remade, it did all that it could, but it kind of did all that it could in the first game. So it gave us a lot of what we already had, and then a really cool building mechanics. Like Ultra Hand is awesome. All that kind of stuff is really, really cool. But it still felt like Tears of the Kingdom. I'm sorry, Breath of the Wild. It felt like the same game with just a top and a bottom, and it was a great game. Don't get me wrong, especially to be on the Switch. Great game. However, Spider-Man 2 had the benefit of being a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which means that the loading speeds, the graphical fidelity, the game mechanic, like your movement and everything was so much smoother.
It was solid.
And it felt different. This isn't necessarily the game's fault as much as it is the PlayStation's fault, but me playing the first game on a PS4 and then playing the second game on a PS5, that different controller, like having that, it did kind of separate the two experiences for me. The Dual Sense controller, like the way that the triggers like are haptive and it was probably, I think, I've shared this with you, I think the Spider-Man 2 game was the best use of all of the things that the PS5 controller can do since Astro's Playroom. Right. Like a lot of, even first-party games like Horizon and God of War have not utilized that controller the way that Spider-Man did. But like the microphone on it, the speakers on it, the trackpad is your cell phone in it. Obviously, you can feel the way that the webs feel when you swing on inside of the triggers, as well as there are a lot. I don't want to spoil a whole lot of the game, but like there are puzzles and things that actually rely on like gyroscope and exactly where that analog trigger is placed, and you can feel like electrical current go through it. You can feel footsteps whenever you're walking versus when you're running, because you feel each step in each side of the controller, and it gets more intense when you go from walking to running. It just was an entirely engulfing experience. Not to mention the fact that the soundtrack was beautiful. It felt so moving. The story, while a little bit short, is a bit of a tearjerker, and you can kind of predict where it's going. I don't have any problem with being able to predict it, though, because it was executed so well. Some people did have glitches, but for the most part, I really didn't have any glitches. I just had to restart a scene one time because it just didn't want to load in.
I had a glitch.
Did you get the cube glitch?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so many people were getting that.
Peter was a cube fighting Venom, and it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
And MJ and Miles went over to pick up Peter, and they just picked up the cube. And when Peter was fighting Venom in the air, Venom was fighting the cube. It was great.
That's
was beautiful.
awesome.
I loved it.
I've seen that one, and I saw the glitch at the end of it where whenever like you're in the cutscenes, the head and everything, like if an unmasked Peter or Miles is like basically rendered out because it doesn't really change. That way they can get like the mouthing and facial expressions really right.
What a game.
But it's basically like a plug and play, think green screen, but it's a plug and play on the rest of their body. And that it's awesome because that's the way that Spider-Man allows every cutscene to, you can be in whatever suit you are wearing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you don't see. Well, you do see that with Tears of the Kingdom. I'll give them that because their cutscenes are a little silly, but that's how they do it. And I saw some where like Miles is talking to Peter and he doesn't have a body; he's just a floating head because it just glitched out. But I didn't experience any of those glitches, and also because they took so much like liberty. Like I knew who Venom was going to be literally from the beginning. I turned the game on, but there were, I don't want to spoil the big ones. There were 2 big surprises for me, and one of them I told you about, like right off. It happened because it's not how it's supposed to be in the comics, but I'm okay with it. And then the other one is also similar to that. Whenever you get that thing at the very end, and it's really cool. And then I didn't see that one coming, and they the game was just like regular all through the whole thing, and then it just like slapped me around, and I was like, woo! Tears of the Kingdom had that one that you could kind of predict, but they had that one thing about Zelda that you're like, oh. But for the most part, it was what it was. And everything. Now, I will say, I probably would have thought Tears of the Kingdom was better than Spider-Man if Link and Riju would have been in love.
Oh, gosh.
I still ship that. I ship that hard. I don't care if he's old enough to be her grandpa. He doesn't look it. He didn't feel it. He was asleep. It ain't the same.
Oh, man. He was in a hyperbolic time
Chamber.
Which
means he's strong and he's ready to be everything she's ever needed him to be. Yeah. Because if you're gonna be in love with a Gerudo woman, I feel like you got to hold your own. But especially like
is
the
she
chief.
ever gonna get bigger?
She grew from the first one to the second one.
Well, just little bit though. Like I mean, like
well, it was only 2 years.
Are tall. Is she gonna get that tall?
She should.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was only 2 years. From the first game to the or roughly 2.
You're right.
Some people say 6.
Yeah.
But it feels more like it's 2. And she was like a baby in the first one. Like she was a little kid. And so she's a teenager now, essentially. Anyway, I hope that is a detailed enough explanation. Do you have anything to add to that? Do you agree with me or no?
Who was that?
That was Insane Godman.
Insane Godman. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I put no other game before it. It's just stuck in the world of Nintendo.
That is really it. Like I don't fault Nintendo a little bit, but I don't fault Tears of the Kingdom for the reason that I feel like it fell behind in the best sequel of 2023. I feel like it fell behind Spider-Man. The reason it fell behind Spider-Man is because Nintendo still even right now in 2024 have not given us the next console. I think it's coming, but they are insisting on getting 7 years out of what was already like a tablet like processor from 2015.
Yeah.
And so it's just they did great for what they had, but because of the hardware innovations and the just implementation of what was available, like the Spider-Man did more with the hardware that was available. Because even though let's take the idea that PS5 hardware is better out of the water, that doesn't matter. Spider-Man did more with what they knew they were going to be an exclusive. They were only going to be on PS5, and they took advantage of the things that you get out of only being on PS5. Same thing happened for Tears of the Kingdom. They knew they were going to be an exclusive. They knew they were only going to be on the Nintendo Switch, and they, in my opinion, did not take advantage of the things that are uniquely Nintendo Switch. Like you could throw Tears of the Kingdom on a PC in an emulator, play it with an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, and nothing would change. If you use a PlayStation controller, you'd even still have your gyroscope. Yeah. You don't even need the Switch to do it, but you cannot have that type of an experience right now with anything other than a PS5, unless they start allowing that kind of adaptive triggers on a PS5 controller via PC. That'd be the only way, and I don't think it would work through emulation. So that's my opinion. It just was that, and I think it's a solid opinion. Both are incredible games, and they are different. They're not
my
the same
favorite.
genre.
I got a cat named Link. So
I mean, and I really like
Zelda.
If it's any consolation prize to Tears of the Kingdom, I barely played my Switch at all last year. Like I kid you not, I think I had, what was it, like 30 hours or something in total. My most played game on the Switch last year was Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. I didn't play it as much as you did because I
still got a lot to do.
I bulked up and decided I was going to show Ganondorf who was boss. Just me and my fairies. But I did it before I had really I was probably a little underpowered to do it, but I beat him on the first try, so that counts for
Proud
something.
of you, bro.
Thank you. I was proud of that. That's what I want to do. And then I think I had that thing that you have where I rolled the credits and I turned it off. I let my wife play it, and then I let Phobic Dragon borrow it, so I still don't have it. So I haven't played it anymore.
Hate that.
Yeah, but that's okay. And then the PlayStation, I mean, I didn't do that with Spider-Man, actually. I 100%ed it.
Same.
That's a good testament, though, because I thought the game, it's easy to 100%, but it makes sense. It's not dumb things to get even all the trophies. It's stuff that makes sense, and it just feels right. I guess I didn't get every trophy. I 100% of the game, but I could log back on right now and get every trophy because I looked it up. The trophies that I'm missing are like buy every suit. I unlocked every suit, but I didn't buy every suit. That's one of them. And then upgrade
Buy
all your
every
gadget.
suit.
Yeah, you know how you had to like spend your tokens to actually use it? Like you would unlock it, then it'd be grayed out.
Oh, you mean like the different color variants?
Color
to the
variants
suits?
and just regular ones. Like, okay, you know what I mean? So after you unlocked the suit, you had to spend your like tech parts on it. If I didn't like the suit, I didn't bother spending my tech points on it. So that's kind of how I did it. I picked and
because
choose.
you have to 100% Peters and then 100% Miles's. And yeah, so I like completely 100% that game.
Got the platinum trophy.
Got all the spiders and just everything. Because I was like,
I got all
if
that.
I'm going to finish this game, I'm going to get it all.
I got all of that. Like if you load up my save file, it says Webby Pumpkin 100%. But if you look at my trophy list, because of those like having to buy it and everything, I don't have the platinum
Like
trophy.
the sand stuff, and you mean like all the side
Oh, I did all
stuff
that.
you have to collect?
My game is 100%. I mean the trophies, like inside of your PlayStation account.
Yeah.
I didn't do all of the. I'm lacking
I
like
gotta
4
check that.
trophies.
I need to check and see
And-
what mine's look like.
And it's because there are things like that. Like they're easy to do, but I didn't buy every suit because I didn't care. So that was one of the trophies I didn't get. And you get a platinum if you complete all the other trophies. That's how you get a platinum trophy. So,
Actually, I feel like it's probably my first one. I feel like I remember seeing it be my first game ever completing, never getting that.
you know, my
trophy.
first PlayStation game that I ever platinumed.
Spyro.
How many do you think I've platinumed?
3.
Do you just know this?
All of them.
No, like how many PlayStation games have I platinumed? Do you think you know?
1.
Mm-mm.
God of War.
No, I definitely didn't platinum that. That's so much work.
Spyro the Dragon.
I did do the reignite. I actually got 3 platinum trophies for that one game. And then I have 2 more platinum trophies, both for Ape Escape. So I have 5 platinum trophies in total. Means I got everything, boy.
Oh, Ape Escape.
And I might, if I would. So that's not the only game I've 100%ed because I've 100%ed and 100% achieved Spyro and everything. But I recently, after I made the Bluey controller, I got the Bluey game on Steam. I got all those achievements too. It is a kid's game, but it's a pretty good game. Anyway,
I'm gonna get it on PlayStation for the kids.
Oh, if you get it on disc, you should let me borrow it so I can platinum it.
Okay.
Bet. Let's go. All right. That's the gist. You guys got it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I keep looking at that camera that turned off. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Hey, watching and listening is the number one way that you can support this show.
That's
Like,
right.
it doesn't cost you anything. Just being here helps the most. But if you'd like to give a little bit more, YouTube partnership is available. You can also, I think I have in my link tree, you can check out my PayPal, anything like that if you want to do something like that. We're also live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, except for not going to be live tomorrow. Because I'm going to take a little time off for this weekend. We just had a day anniversary, my wife and I did. We have an anniversary coming up next month. We have Valentine's Day this month, and it's 5-year anniversary for Webby. So we're actually going to just take the weekend and do a little something. So I'm going to not stream tomorrow, but normally every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Would love for you to drop in over there. Tell me you came from the podcast. That'd be super cool. You can get involved, get engaged, support over there if that's easier for you. And ultimately, just thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate us 5 stars wherever you enjoy your audio podcasting adventures. And I really appreciate you guys. So I guess the only thing left to say is probably
Webb's out.
that's it. See you guys later.
I want to tell you a story about a time when you watched Webby like on the Webb Show. Your favorite podcast near and far here on the Webb Show. You know you listen in your car. You love the Webb Show. You love the Webb Show with Webby.